the Civil Air Patrol who are going to be here to testify, and then I have a number of young men who at least want to be recognized. So I think before anything happens, I would love to recognize these young men who have been sitting in the back waiting patiently, who are part of the Civil Air Patrol, and thank you guys very much for coming down here. And women, excuse me, and women. Yep, there we go. Madam Chair, young men and young women, very, waiting very patiently. So if you could stand up. Go ahead. You guys all stand up. Madam Chair, this bill would be as you're aware from years past, we've put in subtraction modifications for different organizations. The Civil Air Patrol is a fantastic organization that does a tremendous amount of work and a lot of volunteer work to help improve the quality of life for Maryland and Marylanders. And as you've heard me say before, I think that I look at our vision as one of making Maryland a better place, a stronger place, and we should appreciate these folks who spend the time, their energy, and their own money doing this. This would be a very, very modest subtraction modification, which would be equivalent to the cost of the uniforms that they have to pay for themselves in order to be able to serve in their capacity. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam Chairperson and members of the committee. I'm Colonel John Knowles. I'm the commander of Maryland Wing, so I represent the 1,650 volunteers of the Civil Air Patrol who would like your support in getting this income tax subtraction modification bill, which is a big mouthful, passed for our members. When the original program was put into place, I was in Civil Air Patrol, but I wasn't in a leadership position, so I don't really know why CAP wasn't considered as a part of the program. But the Civil Air Patrol actually performs 95% of all the inland search and rescue in the United States as the U.S. Air Force Auxiliary. All our members are volunteers. They're all unpaid. Last year, we performed numerous training exercises. All of our members fall under the National Incident Management System under ICS, so they have to be trained in order to perform the tasks that we do. In fiscal year 2012, we had 8 emergency locator transmission missions, basically an aircraft that had a signal, a distress signal go off, that we dispatch teams. Those usually happen at 2 o'clock in the morning. They rarely happen on normal times. We used 46 ground teams to help prosecute these missions, along with a number of aircraft. We participated in 3 lost person search missions around the state. We're called in by the Maryland State Police as a trained, qualified group of volunteers to assist them. We did a crash site security at the request of a local police force so that their officers wouldn't have to stand around and watch an aircraft that had crashed, because it needs to be protected until the NTSB comes and takes a look at it. We also participated in a missing aircraft mission last year, including 15 sorties. A sortie is you take off and you land, for 22 hours of flight hours. And we had ground teams that participated in 38 ground sorties for 844 man-hours. Each year, the Civil Air Patrol, working with the Maryland Emergency Management Agency and the Coast Guard and the Maryland Department of Natural Resource Police, provide to the citizens a bay patrol from Memorial Day through Labor Day. In 2012, we flew 172 flight hours, 98 sorties, where our volunteers patrolled the bay. We not only looked for distressed boaters, responded to requests from the Coast Guard for persons in the water, but we also monitored critical infrastructure around the state. Our Homeland Security mission has grown, especially since 9/11. In 2012, we had 25 sorties for 45 hours of missions in support of U.S. Air Force training for our region. Recently, for Hurricane Sandy, our air crews took thousands of aerial pictures, and provided them to both FEMA and MEMA so that damage assessment could occur from Delaware down to the end of the state of Virginia and then all around the Chesapeake Bay. We manned our desk at the Maryland Emergency Operations Center, and when we were done with the state of Maryland, we assisted our friends up in the Northeast U.S. in New Jersey, New York, and Delaware, and ended up basically flying for 12 days, all by unpaid volunteers. I'd appreciate, we've been up here 3 times. I hope third time is the charm, and I thank you for the time to present our case to you.
Thank you very much. Any
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Frankie Duarte. I'm here to support the bill, and
Good evening, good afternoon. My name is Cadet Chief Master Sergeant Tyler Lapville. I'm with the Cavalry Cadet Squadron. I believe that this bill is a very good thing. As it does not affect me personally, it will affect my mentors and my leaders, people who have inspired me and enabled me to become a leader in the community. It has not only enabled me to become a leader in Civil Air Patrol, but as well my school, my JROTC unit, as well as many other different aspects of the community that I participate in. And moving on to my colleague to my right.
Good afternoon. I'm Cadet Technical Sergeant Aaron Dumont, and I support this bill, as it will help our fellow senior members, as we do have to pay for our uniforms.
How old do you have to be in the civil?
12 years old, ma'am.
12?
Yes, ma'am.
So have any of you put a food plan?
Yes, ma'am. All of us sitting at this table currently have flown on orientational flights, which are hour-long flights that basically give you an overview of an aircraft, how it performs in different aspects. I have personally flown on 4. Many of the cadets in this room, I'm betting that all of them have at least once.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just wanted to give a shout out to these 3 young men and all the other folks who are from Calvert County, if you could stand up real quickly. All from Huntingtown High School in Calvert County and Northern High School in Calvert County. So I just wanted to welcome them. Thank you. Thank you.
Any other questions of this group? Thank you all very much, okay? That concludes the hearing on House Bill 1004.